Before I just make some closing remarks, I'm going to ask Malcolm Alexander, Chief Executive of Local Government New Zealand, where to from here as you see it, Malcolm?
Look, I'll be brief and conscious of time. Look, the starting point for this discussion is that question that's on the pull-up behind me. You know, who's looking after our community's future? And the members of Local Government New Zealand, the elected members and the council staff are committed to doing that. Long-term demographic trends and economic trends in many parts of this country are challenging for some of our regions. We need to address this and ask the question, how are we going to fund on a sustainable basis the services our communities ask for and need, and to give those regions a sustainable economic future. The royalties for regions is just one way of doing this, and all we are saying is this, that where extractive industries occur and they meet all applicable environmental rules, then the regions that provide that benefit should share in it. Yes. Currently they don't. It's only fair that they should. Second, we are happy for independent governance of any regime. This is not a blank cheque to councils. This is about delivering value back to the regions that create it. Third, we are prepared to be reasonable on the quantum. We are not asking for 55% or 65%. We recognise that the amount has to be reasonable and applicable. That's part of the conversation. Finally, the reality is that the rest of New Zealand will continue to gain the lion's share of any of the royalties. But we need to cover the real costs of extraction that are imposed on communities, roads and the such like, and more importantly, we need to give a future to these regions beyond the end of mining. This is the start of the conversation to do that. We are not going away, parties. We're going to engage with this. This issue of developing the regions of New Zealand is a growing issue. It's an issue that some parties don't seem to have their head around yet. They need to, and we will continue to press that both before the election and in the years after until our communities share in the benefit. And we are committed to doing that.
Hey, Malcolm, just before you hand that speaker back, we've all warned us to be forearmed. Now, we've all agreed here today that we want royalties, and we've had dialogue with some of the MPs. I just feel that what you have to do on behalf of the councils here today is, in writing, ask every party before the election to put down their stated policy that they've told us here today, so we can actually be forewarned, and we will then take that cause up after the election. And I think everyone here would agree with me.
Happy to do that, Tony.
That's already, ours is already on our website, saying exactly what I've said.
Thanks, thanks, Mark. Look, it's not going to go away. I mean, it is. I can tell you that we haven't come to this mandate today and called this just because we thought it was a good idea. This has come back from pressure right through provincial rule New Zealand, from the mayors and councils and communities, and there is a real issue here in the next few years about addressing the issue around demographics and about how our provincial and rural New Zealand's move forward. There is a real challenge here for us, and we just see this as one tool, just one item, and a bigger issue, which the incoming government will have. Look, thank you. All the best to the four of you. We will look forward to working with whoever may be there, and we've always valued and seriously do value from each one of you the input and the way in which you always are responsive to Local Government New Zealand and engage with us on a continued basis, and we look forward to doing that. Can I just, in closing, I hadn't acknowledged it, I'm sorry, Brendan, but Vice President Brendan Duffy, Vice President of Local Government New Zealand, welcome, Brendan, thanks for coming along. Sorry I didn't acknowledge you sitting in the back there. But recently he was Vice President of the last local government elections a couple of months ago. Hey, everyone, thank you. Also to media, thanks for your interest. Thanks to everyone that's turned up, made themselves available today. There's still some wine out there, is it, Claire? Thanks to you, Claire, to the team, Helen, and the team at Local Government New Zealand for putting and organising this. Thanks again to Philip Fox for making these premises available. And Calvin, thanks for coming over from Perth and getting some New Zealand sunshine and weather. and I hear you might be able to stay for a few more days. So thank you once again. Thanks, people. Thanks, everyone.